Talk 1190 WOWO 92.3 FM.
I'm Charlie Butcher for Wayne's Morning News. The president's preparing to use executive orders, executive action to try and expand the student loan program. We're going to be talking to Fox News financial strategist and co-founder of Guardvest, Steve Scanlon. We are joined by Steve Scanlon, who is a Fox News radio contributor, financial strategist, and co-founder of Guardvest. We're talking about student loans, but the big story, Steve, is that the president's going to use executive actions, possibly executive orders, which means bypassing Congress once again on student loans, which is a huge problem for this country.
Massive problem, and as we've all discussed at various points, there is no such thing as a free lunch. So all these college kids that are going to benefit from this have also benefited from being in the classroom and realizing how the economy works, that this debt just doesn't go away. It's going to be paid by somebody.
I'm cynical enough to say, well, this is just an attempt to get millennial votes again because, hey, the president is trying to do something for my student debt. But really, what can you do? You might end up being 45, as you pointed out, off air. You're going to be 45 and you still have to pay for this lunch.
You're going to pay for this regardless, right? I mean, as the president puts it, the wealthier 1% is just under attack. They've already had every tax increase, that they possibly could have, and now what you're going to have is you're going to have basically these kids that 20 years from now, when their student loan is quote unquote forgiven, they're now still going to have to pay for it. It's just not going to look like student loan debt. It's going to be in the form of taxes or whatever else they're going to market it as at this point. This is going to be paid by those same people that are going to be forgiven.
Well, that's a question I get a lot from my son and my new daughter-in-law, both of which are in the medical field. What do we do? Do we just pay the minimum because the president's going to forgive it, or do we try and get this thing paid off? And that's the question that they're asking right now. Get it paid off.
Of course it is. And so the answer, look, let's be very clear that Secretary Duncan came out and said earlier, we don't know how much this is going to cost, and we'll figure this out on the back end, which is exactly what they're teaching, the children to basically say, is we don't know how it's going to work, but right now I'm just going to do the bare minimum. But ultimately, your son and your daughter-in-law are going to have to pay this, even if they are forgiven in 20 years. It doesn't go away. This doesn't just disappear magically. They're going to have to pay for it.
Well, it occurs to me that not only will they be paying for their own loan, but if they're a high-wage earner, and which in the medical field you would hope that you would be, you're going to be paying for somebody else's under this plan also.
Without question. I mean, I borrowed every possible dollar. I'm one of 6 kids. I borrowed every dollar I could to get through college, and I remember being strapped with student loan debt. So it makes all the sense in the world that you want these kids to not come out just being strapped with student loan debt. By the same token, you're going to not only pay what you borrowed, but you're ultimately going to have to pay for everybody else who's not paying their way.
You're the co-founder of Guardvest. What is that?
Guardvest is basically a service that, one of the things that I've always struggled with is investors, busy people that have money with an investment advisor are constantly, underestimating what they actually pay their financial advisor. So we built a company that essentially just gives you an evaluation, a report card, if you will, on your financial advisor to find out if you're getting a good deal or not.
Ooh, what's the website for that?
www.guardvest.com, and it'll give you a confidential, unbiased evaluation of your advisor. We're not a money manager. We're just there to basically tell you if you think you're paying X and you're paying Y, you need to make a decision.
Steve Scanlon, Fox News radio contributor, financial strategist, and co-founder at Guardvest.com with us this morning and on the Kerr Mechanical Current News Hotline. Thank you very much, Steve. I appreciate it.
Thank you. Have a great day.
Message to your kids, get them paid off. You're going to pay for it one way or the other. Get them paid off. You might be paying for somebody else's too if you're successful and get a high income.